Hi everyone, my name's Astrid and you are very welcome. I thought that I would love to show you how to do a self-healing pain management exercise today. And the reason is because I am in quite a lot of pain today. I'm a body confidence expert and I'm an author, and I teach and certify students all over the world how to become body confidence experts in their own right. And one of the things that I have learned in my life and through the work that I do is how to really connect with my body, which was something that I never knew how to do when I was growing up. I mean, it just wasn't part of how I thought about myself or treated myself. So I wanted to really share with you a beautiful exercise that really helps soothe your pain. If you are in pain like I am today, and my pain today is physical, then I hope that this really helps you, because I never knew these kind of techniques when I was growing up, and I wish I had, because they would have made a world of difference to me. But the great thing is now I can help people and I can show people how to make a positive difference in their own life and in their body, and it's all about connection. And so some of you may know, if you've listened to my videos or read my work, that I'm 61 now, but in my 40s I got arthritis. It was psoriatic arthritis and extremely painful. And my joints swelled up, my fingers, my feet, my toes, and it was something that I'd never experienced before, having started the first part of my life as a dancer. So this was something very debilitating, because all of a sudden I couldn't do the things that I love to do anymore in my life, which made me extremely angry, which is part of what I'm going to talk to you about today, and part of what I'm going to share with you. So I have lived with chronic pain for 20 odd years, and it's interesting because when I first started to think about just sharing this with you, I was thinking about, I was saying to myself, well, I've suffered from pain for 20 odd years, but actually that's not true. I haven't suffered with pain for 20 odd years. I have experienced. I have managed it, I've experienced it, I have had it. And sometimes, yes, I have suffered from it and with it. But it's really, really important to, as part of this way that we can approach our own pain and self-management in life, is to be able to be really, really aware of the words we're using to describe our experience. So, changing the word suffering was a really powerful one for me to do. Yes, at times I've suffered, but I've still managed, and that's the big thing, that I've still managed to do a lot of the things that I love to do. So I'm going to just talk you through a beautiful exercise, and if you are suffering from pain or with pain at the moment, then this might be really, really helpful for you. I really hope so. That is my intention. This exercise can be used for all sorts of pain, not just physical. It can be, mental pain, emotional pain, distress, and it's all about coming back to our beautiful, wonderful, amazing bodies. It's all about that connection. So for the last couple of months, I've noticed that I've had a flare-up of psoriatic arthritis, and I've also got osteoarthritis. So it's predominantly at the moment, I'll show you in my hand. So I don't know whether you can see that clearly. So it's very swollen here over the knuckle, and it's all the way up to the finger, and around the finger it's very, very swollen. So closing my hand is very difficult at the moment. Picking things up is very difficult, and it's quite inflamed, as you can see. I hope you can see that. I don't know whether that's coming up very clearly, but that area of swelling right there, and then all the way down this finger up into the top joint of the finger. I don't know whether that's any better or worse. But anyway, this is what's been causing me a lot of pain just recently. And one of the great things is that, and the really big difference is that when I didn't know how to connect with my body, when I didn't know how to manage my pain, because nobody ever told me that. I was just told to, take some painkillers, and sometimes, yes, I have to take some painkillers, but more often than not, I don't need to. And this is what's so powerful about when we know how to self-soothe and we can connect with our body and our body's wisdom. And I guess one of the big things is to notice, it's all about the feelings, is to notice how you feel about your pain, first of all. So in the old days, when I was suffering with my feet very badly, when I was in pain, I couldn't walk, I would be so angry about that. I would look at my feet and I would really be mad at them. And I'd be, really judging and saying, well, why can't you do that? Just get up, just do that. I'm so cross with you. You can't do this anymore. And of course, when we're angry, when we're in that kind of really high stress, all it does is make pain worse. So one of the big things is that I learned, and hopefully passing on to you, is to soften that, is to notice the feelings. It's not to try and take the feelings away, but it's to notice them and then work with them instead of allowing the feelings to dominate my wellness. Because being angry about my pain, being angry that I couldn't do things in my life that I wanted to do, was not helping. It was just making my pain worse. And I got that, I think there's this saying that, we can cause ourselves to suffer, but actually the biggest suffering is from what we're thinking about what's happening to our bodies or to ourselves. That's what causes the greatest suffering. It's the thoughts we have about it. Pain is one thing, but then real suffering is when I create a narrative or a story in my mind about what that pain means for me. For example, not being able to live in the way I want, not being able to move, not being able to do those basic things in life anymore. And that was the biggest suffering. That caused me untold suffering. So this exercise is all about connection. And so I'll just talk you through it. So if you have any pain at the moment, just work with me and do this as I'm doing it. I shall do this for myself, firstly, and just follow on and get a sense of it, because it's all about self-soothing and coming back home. But this isn't to say either that this is a substitute for any kind of medical or healthcare. We need all of those things that help us support ourselves when we are going through very difficult times. I'm a great believer in support and connection. So, we need those people who can also help us and help us through it. But there's a super huge amount that we can do on our own. And that's what I'm going to show you. So, I'm going to take my hand, and as I look at my hand, and as I feel this pain, I'm just going to become aware of the emotion that is coming up within me. So you want to start off by just getting in touch with the emotion that's coming up. And earlier on today, this emotion or this feeling that I had around it was huge frustration. I couldn't pick up my teacup. I couldn't pick up the kettle. I couldn't write. I love to write. It's one of my greatest joys. I couldn't hold the pen enough to write. It was too painful. So the feeling that came up for me was huge frustration. And so what we want to do is acknowledge that. So I'm feeling really frustrated. I don't want to push that away. I don't want to silence that. I don't want to make it okay and be super positive that I'm not feeling frustrated. I was. But I want to work with that frustration now, because that's a part of me. It's a part of this life experience that I'm having right now. So what I do then with that frustration is I talk to it. And this is the really big thing with this, with pain, with ourselves, with our bodies. So often we don't speak to our bodies, we don't have a conversation, we're not compassionate, we're not kind, we demand, we bully, we judge, we criticize, we think we should be somewhere else other than where we are. But very, very seldom do we turn to ourselves and say things like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you hurt. And I can feel quite emotional just even saying that. But it's so powerful when we can come back to ourselves. And so with that frustration, I'm just gonna hold my hand and probably that's the easiest way that I can be at the moment, just supporting this hand on the other one. And I'm going to talk to that frustration, I'm going to talk to the pain. So this is the kind of conversation that I feel right now would be most useful and most helpful to my body. And we start off by saying and acknowledging, I am so sorry. So I'm so sorry that you hurt. I'm so sorry that you've been in so much pain lately. I'm so sorry that you can't do the things that you love to do. I'm so sorry that you are experiencing this flare-up. But I'm here, and you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm here and I've got you. I'm holding you. I'm holding you. And I'm here. And you're safe. You're safe, and I'm going to look after you. I won't abandon you. I won't push you. I won't demand that you do things that you're not able to do right now. I've got you, and I'm here for you. And you can be exactly as you are right now. You can be exactly where you are. You don't need to change or do anything different. You can just be where you are and know that you are loved and that you are supported and that it's okay for you to feel this. You don't need to change. And when you're doing this, and it might seem very odd to do this, it might seem very peculiar at first to do this. It really did to me. It was like, this is crazy. What am I doing? Talking to my hand, talking to my pain. But it helped. And sometimes it brings up a huge amount of emotion because we just don't do that. We're not taught how to do that. We're not taught how to self-soothe. We try to run away from it, avoid it, numb it, disassociate from it. But it's when we turn towards our pain that we have the greatest healing. And this has really, really helped me. And the biggest thing, I don't know whether you noticed in that conversation, that compassion, it's just all about compassion, like we would to a beloved friend or a family member. If somebody came to us and they said, I'm not feeling well, I'm feeling this, we wouldn't say get on with it, move over it, I don't care. We'd say, oh, I'm so sorry, to somebody we loved. And the key is that, it's about loving us. It's about coming back to us and saying those words to us, saying those words to ourselves. And the biggest thing there is not trying to change it. It's about allowing this pain. It's about allowing this experience to be here. This is not about trying to get an end result of changing this or to have it miraculously move overnight. It's about self-soothing, it's about connection, it's about understanding my body, it's about listening to our beautiful bodies, it's about tapping into our wisdom, and it's about allowing us to have the experience that we're having. It's okay, it may not be pleasant, it may not be good, but it's okay. It's part of where I am right now. And the biggest thing I know from this and from my experience of 20 years of chronic pain is that pain moves. This is one of the biggest things that gave me so much hope and so much joy. Pain moves. It doesn't stay the same. It changes. Some days it's more intense, some days it's less intense, even some hours it's shifted, it's changed, it's become different in some way. And that gives me incredible hope and also incredible joy, because when I am in pain and when I'm really suffering, I can say to myself in the most positive, real, authentic way, this too will change. It's like that old saying, this too will pass, and it does. It does, it moves, it changes. Pain adapts, it responds, it listens. It changes as we change. It changes sometimes as the weather changes. It changes according to how we're feeling, to what is going on in our outer environment and also in our inner environment. And so when you get to that part of this that's acknowledging, yes, I'm suffering here, or I'm having pain here, I'm experiencing pain here, I can't do the things I wanted to do today. There is frustration there, but you know what? That's okay. Frustration can be there. It's all right. And it needs to be there because that's a very human emotion. It needs to be there. And so it's not about trying to change the frustration. It's about connecting with it. Bring it in. Welcome it to your table. Welcome it in and say, okay, frustration. Okay, anger. Okay, pity. Okay, whatever, sadness, grief, okay, whatever that pain might be, whether it's physical like I have today or whether it's mental, emotional. Okay, you can be here, and that is the greatest thing, and I can be with you. And it's like, for me, it's like being with, the ability to be with myself now, which when I was younger, when I was growing up, I never knew how to do that. I didn't know how to be with myself. I mean, most of the time I think I spent trying to run away from me rather than connect to me. I just didn't want to be in pain of any sort. But now I get it. And it's so good when I know how to self-soothe. I know how to come back home. I know how to connect with this experience. And then, because all any pain wants is to be heard. It's like us all. All, when we're suffering or when we're upset, all any of us really ever want in our lives is to be heard, is to be acknowledged, and is to be validated. For somebody to say, I'm so sorry that you're hurting today. And we can do that for ourselves. So if you have nobody else around you right now that they can do that for you, that's okay, because you know what? We can do it. You can do it for yourself. I can do it for myself. I can come back to me and I can say, oh, I am so sorry that you hurt. And I'm here for you. I've got you. And I'm not going anywhere. And you don't have to change. You don't have to change that feeling. It can be there, but I'm here too. And we can work through this together. And then when you get to that point that you feel that you've done enough with that kindness, that compassion, and then a really powerful exercise to do is to, still holding that area that is in pain, still holding this or being aware of it, is to say, and start to go into a world of possibilities. This is really important. And one of the ways that I love to do this is that I go into, but I wonder how much you can change when you're ready. I wonder what will happen from this. I wonder what possibilities there are for me now. I wonder what might happen tomorrow. I wonder what might happen later on today. I wonder. And then I can go into what ifs. What if it could be so easy? What if it could be so easy to navigate this experience? What if this pain could be easier tomorrow, or later today, or in the next 5 minutes, or now? So what we're doing here is we are opening up the mind. We are allowing, we're not saying it has to be, we're not saying it ought to be, we're not saying it should be, but we're saying, and this is so powerful, we're saying, but what if? What if my pain could change in the next 5 minutes? What if? I wonder about that. Doesn't have to at all, but maybe there's a possibility, because so often what pain does is it closes us down. It closes us down, and what I used to do, I don't know whether you're the same, but what I used to do is whenever pain closed me down, I would be almost in that state of, well, that's it then. That's it. I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to walk again. I'm not going to be able to move or dance. And I shut myself down, but actually this is the biggest thing, and it's so brilliant. You know, what I've really taken away from my own experiences with pain is that, you know, whatever we're going through is only a snapshot in time. It's only a snapshot. You know, it doesn't mean to say it's lasting forever. And this is so powerful. It's a snapshot. There we go. That's a click of the camera there. It's a snapshot in time. But it might be different in 5 minutes. You know, your blood pressure, if it's up, you know, well, that can change. That might be different in 2 hours' time. It might go down. And likewise, if your blood pressure is low, in 2 hours' time, 3 hours, it might go up again. We change, we're fluid, our bodies adapt, we're always moving. We're always being impacted by our inner and outer environment, but the biggest thing is if we can make our inner environment supportive and loving and kind, a place to come home, a sacred space, then no matter what is going on in the outside environment, we can still feel good. We can still feel okay. No, it's not perfect. No, I would like the swelling to be gone, and I would like to be able to write today, and I'd like to be able to pick up my teacup and have a lovely cup of tea. But you know what? I've got another hand. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. I have another hand that works brilliantly well. And I can use that hand, and I can create more strength in that hand. There are positives everywhere. There are gifts everywhere if we can look for them. And this is what I mean about creating that inner environment. That's what really matters. So when the world is going crazy outside, or you're suffering in some way, come back and create that compassionate space within you that can help self-soothe, even if it's just for a moment. That's great. That's so powerful. And then another moment, and then another moment, and you might have to do this again and again and again and again. And every time you find yourself suffering, you might just have to, the simplest thing is like, you know, put your hands over the area of pain. If it's emotional pain, put your hands over your heart and acknowledge how you feel. That's all our body ever wants, is to be loved, is to be heard, is to be taken care of, is to be embodied, is to be listened to. So I really hope this helps. You know, it's funny actually today, because part of my old instinct, I'd say, part of my old instinct was to, you know, not do any, you know, sort of like go away from it. You know, not to do a video about it, to wait till the pain had passed and then do a video about it. But I've learned that what I can do with this, and it feels really, really important for me to share this, because I never knew how to self-soothe, how to come home to my body, how to tap into my body wisdom, how to love myself 100%. How to be okay with myself even when things weren't okay. I never knew how to do this, and this is part of my own life mission, is to pass this on, whatever age you may be, to pass this on, to pass these tools on. And what better way to do it than when I am experiencing some difficulty in my life, in my body. So I hope you enjoyed this. But maybe enjoyment, I don't know, isn't quite the right word. Maybe it is. I think perhaps what's a better word is I hope that this has helped in some way. I would love to know. Please, you know, reach out, share your experiences with me. If there's any way that I can help, let me know. Thank you so much for being here. You can get in contact with me by going to my website. It's astridlonghurst.com. You can find me on Instagram at Romancing Your Body. And I would love to hear from you, or, you know, just leave a comment. Get in touch, reach out. You are not alone. So I am wishing you a lovely day wherever you are. And just a reminder that wherever you are right now will change. It will move. If you are in pain, then just notice when that pain changes and how it moves, and really practice that self-compassion, just holding the area, acknowledging it, being with it, going towards it rather than away from it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care of yourself, love your body, love your life. This is such an awesome experience that we get to live. So lots of love to you. I shall sign off now. Take care. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.